Today's video marks a very special spot because as of today, I'm officially 1 year into making YouTube videos and vlogging and all that type of stuff. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about what happened during the last year, how I got into this, and what I learned throughout this 1 year process of making videos and not making so much videos during a certain time. And maybe you can take something away from this if you want to get into it, or if you're doing it and just wondering how other people are doing. Let's get into it. As you can see, I'm not at home. I'm actually on vacation right now with my girlfriend in the south of Portugal. Let me tell you, the scenery is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm just sitting on the balcony. It's about noon right now, and we already started the day off exploring some of the cliffs just around 10 minutes walking distance from here. And it's breathtaking, like everything around here. So we're gonna be here for about a week, and I'm gonna take some of that time to do some skating as well, and because I just found this very nice flat ground down on the main street, which is down there. There's like this very nice smooth flat ground that you can definitely do some wizard skating on. I brought my skates, I just put them all together, and we'll find the right time to do some skating there too. But then again, like all the exploring and the beach as well, like everything is so beautiful. So there's the right timing for everything. So back to the main topic, which is 1 year into making YouTube videos. I'm gonna take this time just to focus on my very first video that I did, which is like a year ago now. And I remember being super nervous about filming this, which is weird because I was doing it on my own. Like, there was no one to, there was no reason to be nervous about it. Like, I had infinite time to try. I already wanted to do this way before then, and I never really got that push to try it. But I listened to podcasts, I watched videos, people that are doing similar stuff were talking about it and how they got into it, and basically what everyone was saying and what I am saying right now too, as with my experience that I have from a year now, is don't overthink it and don't plan too much, because after all, that planning doesn't really lead anywhere. If anything, it stands in the way of you being natural in the way you talk, the way you're doing certain things. What happened to me is when I started, I wanted to make it very much perfect on the first try, and let me tell you, that first video was bad. And I'm saying that now because I see certain mistakes that I'm trying to avoid right now, and that couldn't even happen now anymore. And it's a good sign. Like, seeing old videos as bad only lets you believe that you evolved from that. You learn from your mistakes. You're moving on. You got new ways to handle certain things. And that's what happened now too. And I think that is what's happening with everyone. Like, you're starting out. You don't really know how you're doing certain things, how you're talking about stuff, the whole workflow, how much do you plan. Everyone has to learn that on their own, and I learned it just by making videos. And if you ever thought about doing something like that, you should do that too. Like, I was very much proud of my first video, don't get me wrong, but now looking back, I can see what I could have done better and what I'm trying to do better right now. Yeah, so the idea behind my first video and the idea behind all the videos that I'm making right now is I want to be natural in what I do. I just want to document my journey in skating, where it led me to, where it's gonna lead me to, maybe my experiences in skating. If I'm trying something new, to share it with other people. Maybe it will spark some inspiration with other people. Maybe I get inspired myself just by reading comments where people just recommend other channels or other creators. That is the one thing that I'm very much focusing on most. Like, I'm trying to be just natural. I want to show my person in front of the lens, not only while skating but also while talking, and just being me basically. And in my first video, I tried to do that with a very strict structure. Like, I didn't have a script, but I tried to talk as if I was having a script, and that is pretty much the opposite of what I am. So I moved away from that into just winging everything in my video. I'm just trying to talk whatever I was feeling like, and that was also okay. Like, it led up to a very natural looking video, but it would be way more in the editing process because I would just ramble on for so long, and it was so much of things that didn't make sense, and you have to like look through the important parts in your video and cut it out and just get in the right order. So what I'm doing right now is, like, I have this planner right here. I'm putting notes there, just like key points of what I want to talk about. And this is only for videos like this where it's a lot of talking and like a very specific topic. But if it's just skating, I'm just winging it. That's just the recipe that I found for myself that works best. And I'm saying it took me a year, but I would actually say it will take me even longer. Like, I'm constantly finding new things when I'm doing videos, when I'm posting videos, and just looking back on the previous one, I'm like, all right, I could have improved it here and there. So never think that you actually reached your best output, because the next one's always going to be better. Putting all those aspects into perspective and into, like, back to my main point, like the most important one is make mistakes. Don't be afraid. Even if you're trying to never make mistakes in your videos, at any given point you're always gonna make mistakes. So just lean into it, allow it to happen. If you're mispronouncing a word, just let it go, or do however you feel about it, but be aware of your mistakes, let them happen, and then you can learn from them. But if you try to make everything perfect and not make any mistakes, I think it would be in the way of actually progressing. And the progression is also a very fun aspect of making videos, not only YouTube videos but videos in general. It's the same in skating. Like, you're making mistakes as you start, you're making mistakes as you get more and more safe with certain tricks. It's like there's mistakes everywhere, but you can always learn from it. Very basic fact, actually. And so as I moved on from my first few vlogs, where I kind of like found my way into it, where I got more and more into making a solid workflow happening while recording the videos, I also noticed like more people were following my journey. Like, more people were watching the videos. As I got to Spring Cup, people were actually talking to me about my YouTube videos, and I was very much surprised, because I thought at that time I had like a total of 4,000 views on all the videos I did up to then. With the people that talked to me at Spring Cup about my videos, and people giving me compliments for it, and like saying that they liked watching my videos, I got even more motivated, and I got more and more into making videos. And then it hit a point where I should have been more aware of what I'm doing, because I noticed how I'm applying pressure onto myself. Like, I thought people were expecting me to make videos on maybe a weekly base, or involving more and more of the ideas they were putting in the comment section. Like, I'm always happy if people are having ideas, and on my Patreon page, for instance, I'm always asking people for what they would want to see. And like back last summer, I would take those ideas, I would write them up, and I would try to like really get every single one done of those. And at first it was fun, and then I noticed like it's starting to feel like work more than it feels like a fun thing to do. But I didn't stop. Like, I tried to do the videos, and I ended up doing a few videos that I never posted because they never felt right. Like, I wasn't going out at the right time. I wasn't feeling it. I was just trying to complete this task. At one point I was like, all right, I'm just putting in so much effort. I'm not even posting the videos because it doesn't really feel right. So I'm just gonna wait for this all to go past and getting back the motivation. And then during summer, natural thing, I was more focusing on my street projects. I was filming constantly, and then I thought, all right, I'm putting all my energy in there, and then I also have to work, obviously. So there wasn't much time for vlogs and actually putting in the effort of like actually writing down some ideas and maybe taking notes or whatever. Like, it doesn't sound like much, but it should just be 100%. Once you're doing it, like you're actually doing it, not only like on the side thing. So that led to me not doing that many videos during summer, because I thought, all right, I just don't feel it right now. And I noticed that whenever I was meeting new people, some were coming up to me and asking like when the next video is gonna be done, when am I gonna upload another video. And that was flattering at one point, but then it got me back to that original point of where I was applying pressure to myself, where I was like, I'm not feeling it right now. I can't do it, right? So that was that. So that was like a summer low in making videos. Like, I was super motivated on skating. I was skating so much, but I just didn't really record much of that. I didn't record much of that for YouTube, actually. Fast forward now to the start of winter of last year, or, well, still ongoing winter. You can't really tell it's winter here. It's January and it's so warm. Amazing. So as the skating kind of slowed down, we couldn't skate every single day anymore. I got more into reflecting on the past year, reflecting on what I want to do, and also thinking about what I want to do in the future. Like, where am I setting my priorities in life, and then especially in skating as well. I got back into that mind state where I was having more and more ideas of what I could record, like certain topics that I would like to talk about and combine it with just a few clips in skating. And so I just went out, and like with my very first video, I just went out and filmed a few tricks. This time it just came along more naturally to talk about it, because there was no pressure anymore. Like, people weren't expecting me to do it. So I was just talking about it and just going with the flow of how skating went that day and how I was feeling about it. And I was super proud just to get back into this and uploading this. And I think it didn't even reach 1,000 views, but that didn't matter, because it's about that fun aspect that it has. Obviously, having a lot of views is pretty nice and everything. I'm getting back to that point, but it's just about that way I feel about my videos when I'm doing it. And that's where I am right now. Like, I'm noticing a very high energy and motivation level, and I want to keep that up. So in order to do that, I'm reminding myself it's not about a comparison, it's not about applying pressure, and it's about fun. Like, that's why we're skating, that's why we're doing all the things that we do in this skating related world, I guess. So I'm gonna keep my focus on that, and so far it's just shown more and more motivation. I've been more productive than ever, and I'm not saying that it's always gonna be that way, because there's always times where you just feel a bit more lazy, and you can lean more into that and just be lazy for a bit, and then once that motivational spark comes back up, you just go for it. Also, one thing I noticed when I got back into making videos is my workflow changed a lot. Like, when I started making videos, the very first video that I made, I filmed on, I think, 3 different cameras, and I think only the first take on my intro sequence took about 3 hours to take, because I tried to make it as good as possible. I didn't know which camera, I didn't know which lens, so I tried everything. I tried with my external mic, and then with a mic right here, and everything just to get a shot that is pretty much exactly like the one I'm doing right now, which I'm filming with my phone. I'm also filming my skating with my phone now, and I tried to film it with a different camera back then, even a different one that I used to record myself talking. And then I have my Insta360, which I'm always using, so I had like 3 different cameras at least, maybe even a 4th. That all sorting out, putting into a project in Premiere, editing on my computer to get it back on my phone, then to post it on YouTube, also on Instagram. There was so many working hours involved for something that wasn't even necessary. So like right now I'm recording on my phone, I am recording on my Insta360 when I'm skating, I'm cutting it all on my phone, I'm editing on my phone, and I can upload it to YouTube from my phone. So I'm using 2 cameras, and I'm editing. I'm doing all the post-production on my phone, and it has made it so much easier and therefore so much more fun. I don't know if that kind of workflow works for everyone. I don't know how other people are doing it. I just found this out for myself, and everyone that wants to get into making videos, just find it out for yourself. Find out what works best for you. I just noticed for me, like, putting in so much effort for something that people don't really notice, and I didn't even notice, like, when posting. It's not worth it. Like, the effort should go into the main subject with it, which is the talking and the skating. So that's where it's at right now. Looking back from this 1 year to the point where I'm at now, there's so many improvements personally that have made this all so much more fun. Like, there was a very high motivational level when I started, and that was needed for all the time that was that I gave into this, like that I put into this. But right now I'm keeping it to a solid energy and motivational level and just going for what I want to do, and I'm planning on keeping that up, and it's looking good. For my final point, one thing I also noticed is setting priorities, because I did set up a Patreon page at a very early stage of my YouTube making video career thing, and I was asking people on YouTube for things they want to see. I asked people on Patreon for what they want to see, and I tried to do everything, kind of. So right now what I'm doing is I'm asking all the people on Patreon what they would like to see, and I'm trying to involve that in some videos, or making videos just for that purpose, as opposed to just trying everything and putting everything on YouTube. Like, I'm setting priorities as in making videos and as in posting videos, and I'm trying to keep that up because I feel like that is a more fair way for supporters on Patreon, and it's a easier way for me to handle all the ideas that are coming in. Like, I'm writing up all the ideas that I'm having and that other people are having, and the list goes on and on. Like, I could not even work down this list if I had 24 hours 7 days a week all the time. Like, there's no chance. So maybe my last tip for everyone that wants to start this or is currently doing it but maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed is set priorities. Don't overwork yourself. That's not worth it. Just go out, have fun. And all right, that was it, more or less, my learning process in 1 year of making YouTube videos. I am excited to get some skating clips in the following days. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get some today, but I'm here for another 5 days, so there's definitely gonna be time. I'm gonna leave the Patreon link in my description, as well as the my affiliate link for Insta360. Just click through, maybe you see something for yourself, and tune in for next time. Keep skating.